No, 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 no. You guys have it all wrong. You guys are trying to do it this way, but if you're trying to get into real estate wholesaling, you got to do it this way. Hey, what is going on, everyone? Devin up here with another video providing massive value and fire content like always. And so if you're new to the channel and you like the content that I have and provide for you all, make sure you join the fam, join the gang, but hit the nice looking subscribe button down below. Also, if you guys like today's video, please drop a like. And I feel like I don't promote this enough, but if you're getting into real estate wholesaling, in the description below, I do have a link to a Facebook mastermind group that's free for you guys to join. There's a lot of big players in the game inside of there. And so go check it out, and you guys can go in and ask whatever questions you want. Sometimes I answer the questions, or some other people that are making lots of money in real estate wholesaling, they always add their input into it as well. And so it is super late recording this video. I've been super off track. My schedule is just totally messed up, so I apologize for this for me not doing the 12 o'clock every day lately. I just need to get back on to a routine and everything and start recording videos up ahead of time. So we'll see if I'm able to get back into it in the next few days. But anyways, so in this video, I want to talk about like kind of the mentality that most people have that is just totally wrong when you're getting into real estate wholesaling and trying to make a lot of money very quickly. And so this really applies to any business. Almost every video that I make applies to every business, but we're specializing in real estate wholesaling. I want to make sure that you guys have the tools that you need in order to do deals. And so sorry if there's a little bit of background noise. It's super hot in here and we have the window open. So anyways, just been straight grinding the last few days. Just been getting up some live trainings and everything. And I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted like I want to say 2 or 3 days ago. But I flew in a buddy from California. We've just been grinding on stuff, and so it's been awesome. Having this type of business relationship where we're just bouncing ideas off of each other. And so it's something like I didn't have before, but I kind of like it. So then I feel like I'm getting more productive, having more people around me push me. And so that's kind of my goal, having like a good inner circle of people that are making lots of money, being successful. So that way, as they're making money, they're pushing me to make more money, and it kind of goes vice versa. And so anyways, so what do you guys all have wrong when it comes to real estate wholesaling? And this one, I get asked a lot of questions in Facebook, Instagram, so on and so forth. I get a lot of questions, a lot of people trying to do deals, or even people that have been trying to get into the game for a long time and still haven't done anything. And this is what I think is a lot of people that are missing when it comes to real estate wholesaling. And so what people are missing is essentially they are trying to worry about all the smaller details when the small things really don't matter. So for example, someone trying to get into real estate wholesaling, trying to do a deal. Everybody's all pumped up to do that first deal, and they get in, and then they're all worried about the finer things. So like a good example of this is like all the contracts or having like the perfect script for when you're doing wholesaling and whatnot. And these things really don't matter that much, really. You can get a standard contract from your normal title company, like in your area, or closing agent, or closing attorney. It just really depends on what state you live in and what they use. You can find that out by just Googling it or asking other investors around you. But like I said, a lot of this stuff just doesn't matter. Like it'll just happen. The pieces will fall into place if you have a deal and you got someone wanting to buy the deal. If you got those two pieces, that's all that really matters. So the biggest focus when it comes to this business is trying to do your first deal. So no point in trying to go for the big fish in the pond saying, hey, I'm going to do like 6 deals in like 6 months. Well, that's awesome. That's great if you're able to do 6 deals in 6 months or whatever. But what you need to really focus on is doing that first deal. If you haven't done a first deal, then how can you expect yourself to push yourself to do 6 deals if you don't even know how to do 1 deal? So I get this all the time. People are like, oh yeah, I'm going to close this many deals. Well, it's like, how many deals have you closed so far? And they say 0. That's a big problem. You need to be doing you need to at least first do your first deal. When I did my first deal, it was a struggle. It was a grind. I thought I was gonna make way more. I thought I was gonna make way more money faster. And that's another big rule is whatever goal that you have. Like this applies to me personally. This will apply to you guys most likely as well. So whatever number I decide, like, oh, I'm gonna make $100,000 in the next few months. That'll probably happen. I'll probably make $100,000 if I have my mindset right and my solid why as to why I'm doing this and the right energy that I'm putting towards everything. But that it probably will take a little bit longer, maybe a little bit twice as longer, maybe a few more months longer. And so you just have to understand that it's all part of the process, and you have to, first of all, like I said, you have to do your first deal. When I did my first deal, it really opened my eyes to the opportunity that was available. I had no idea what I was doing until I did that first deal. I was just like, oh, that's how this all works. And that's how I started to get more and more knowledge. And so I wouldn't say that I've closed a substantial, like a crazy amount of deals or anything like that. Like, I'm not going to try to hide that from you guys. But the amount of deals that I've closed, I've been able to learn so much more. And that's why I kind of started this YouTube channel. So, like, I'm still new and fresh in the game. And so I wanted to present something to people that were newer in the game. And I feel like I was a little bit more relatable if I'm documenting the process. And so what I feel like a lot of most gurus out there, people that make channels or whatnot that are closing all these deals, is they're already way out there. They're closing all these deals, and it just seems impossible for most people to get to that point that they're at. They're making millions of dollars, and they're not really seeing the come up story. And so I'm really just filling that gap for you guys. And so I like don't get me wrong, I was in the same boat as everybody else, and I was thinking that I was going to close so many deals when I get started, because I was like, oh my gosh, this business plan is amazing, which it is. It's an amazing business plan, business model, and structure. But don't go in hurting yourself by believing that you can do so much more, which you can do so much more, but you have to understand that it's all part of the process. So if you guys don't know the process or anything like that, or what is real estate wholesaling, I got a link in the description of every video that I ever post, and you guys can go check it out. But my word of advice, if you're getting started, and let's say that you've been in the game, you've been trying to do a deal for so long, or you're just getting started, if this is your first video, awesome. But if you're trying to get started, then what I recommend is to just go out there and try to do a deal. Like, just focus on doing a deal. First of all, find someone that's willing to sell their property at a deep discount. That is willing to sell their property, and just go out there and just find someone that's motivated to sell their property, and they'll work with you. Don't worry about it. Just try to get it as low as possible. That's all that really matters. If you guys need to run the numbers and whatnot, I made other videos on it, like how to find the value of your property. That's one of the videos. Just search it, and you'll come across it on my channel and whatnot. So go check that video out if you need to figure out audible comps. But I made just about every video that you've would ever need. So what I recommend is just work. If you run into a wall, search the answer, get the answer, get out of there, keep working. And so if you keep digging after you have one problem, then you're gonna start getting shiny object syndrome, or you're gonna start thinking that you need to have this done, you need to have this done, when all these different pieces of the greater puzzle, they don't matter all that much. So some of the smaller pieces, they will just come to play as time goes on. And so especially like the educational side of things, all you need to really know is the basics of real estate wholesaling, and you're good to go. You're good to do a deal. The less knowledge that you have in this business, getting started and going out and doing deals, the better, to be honest. Because if you have too much knowledge and information, then you're not really going to go out there and do deals. That seems very counterintuitive, to not learn that much before you're out there doing deals. But that's just how it works. That's how business works for most of these kind of like loophole businesses, if you want to call them, where basically you're making a lot of money very quickly. And most people, like, they see these loophole businesses and they think it's not going to take a lot of work. Well, most people, like, they get into it, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so much more work than anticipated, and then they quit. They're making way too much work for themselves. It does take a lot of work. There's a lot of grind in it, but they're putting all this energy into the wrong direction. And so if there's nothing holding you back other than going out there and talking to a motivated seller, like, maybe you have to wait for something. If you don't have to wait for anything, then just go out there and just go do it. Go start doing whatever you're doing. Here's a great example of it as well. So my friend out here that's visiting and whatnot, he's starting up like a Shopify store, and he's selling some products on it. I won't tell you guys what he's selling, but he's got all of his page set up and everything. He's been working on these smaller details. I'm like, why are you working on all these things? You should just be getting sales. Well, the problem he's running into is like the manufacturer's taking so long to send him all the products and everything, so he doesn't know what he's selling exactly. He just knows that he's got some good products coming in and whatnot, and so he's got a good supplier. It's just a matter of he has nothing better to do at the moment, so he is working on all these little other things that don't really matter. That's the only reason why you wouldn't just start going out there to make money right away, because you need to put money in first position. You need to go out there and just start doing deals as soon as possible. But if you're in the circumstance that he is in whatever business that you're in, then yeah, maybe it's an good enough excuse to start working on these smaller details that don't matter in the long run. They're not going to make you money right now. And so that's the biggest thing. Just trying to make money right now, so that way you have more money to reinvest back into your business and start making more money as fast as possible. So here's, like, I'll give you guys another example, because I feel like examples just stick in your head and you can relate to them a lot more. So another good example is this live training that I did a couple of days ago. I think it was yesterday that I did it. Yeah. So I did it yesterday. That's when I did the actual training and whatnot, when I was live and I was making the video, and everybody loved it. But anyways, I spent all this money on, like, I spent some money on ads, and I told everybody that it was going to be on Thursday. I actually originally told everybody it was on Wednesday, but I didn't promote it enough. I only had like 3 people signed up. And then what I did was I just told I pushed it back like 3 days in advance. I pushed it back another day, so that way I had more time to work on stuff, because there's so much more things, smaller pieces I didn't think had to be set up in order for it to do it. But I knew that by Thursday I had to have this webinar up, this live training. And so I gave myself basically the Tony Robbins, which I actually found out that Julius Caesar said this, was if you want to take over the island, you got to burn the boats. And so I was burning all the boats. I was giving myself no out. If I didn't show up, I'd lose all my credibility and whatnot. And so I was just making sure that I was providing the value, and I was keeping my promise that I set out there. And so I spent all this money and I spent all this time and energy setting it up so that it was going to go on this day. And as the day started to get closer and closer to this deadline, I was working, I was probably more productive than I ever was, because I wasn't worried about some of the smaller things that didn't really matter. Like, I could have probably pushed it a little bit more on Facebook, but why push it more on Facebook if I don't have the solid webinar slides set up and everything, and I don't have good enough content? Because the content's the most important part, more than anything. And so I was basically pushing myself. I was burning all the boats, so I had no excuses for doing this. I was working all these hours and whatnot, putting in all this work into this project, and we made it happen. It was crazy. We made I want to say 60 or 70 slides in one day, and we had to review them, and we were making sure they all looked good and whatnot. And so the point I'm getting out with this is, so if you're trying to do your first deal, I always say this, basically, take all of build a solid why. Give yourself no excuses as to why you can't go work on it. And if you just eliminate all of those excuses, then you can go out there and just straight up get rid of all the small things that don't really matter and go out there and do a deal. Because that's how you start seeing all these people doing a deal in less than a week, or finding a seller less than a week, or people doing deals in less than 30 days. It's crazy. I thought that was impossible. But I've done a deal where it was less than 7 days. It just came across my plate, and I had no idea what I was doing with it. I had the right connections. I just sent it out, and then I made $5,000 in less than 7 days. I think it was 6 days or something crazy like that. $5,000 6 days, and I did maybe 2 or 3 hours worth of work. Nothing much at all. But this deal just came across my plate, and I had the opportunity available to harp on this opportunity, and I just went out there and did this deal. And so just quit making up excuses, talk to as many people as possible, and you guys will be A-okay, and you guys won't worry about these smaller details that do not matter. Let me emphasize this again. Don't work on the small details, work on the bigger picture. Figure out what you're trying to do in the long run. Try to do a deal as soon as possible, so that way you have the money in your bank account as soon as possible, so you can reinvest that money and do more deals. That's what's most important. And so, anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, like always, join the fam, join the game by hitting the nice looking subscribe button down below. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. Also, if you guys like it, drop a like. Highly appreciate it. Let's see how many likes we can get on this video. The more likes you guys put, the better it is for other people able to see this video, and I'm trying to help out as many people as possible, so help me out by liking this video, please. Also, if you guys have any comments whatsoever, drop them down below, and I will get back to you guys with the answers that I feel appropriate. If I have time to get back to your questions and whatnot, I try to get back to everybody. And so anyways, I am uploading every day, so I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.